Hi all, I'm Salesforce Jen and I like to talk about Experience Cloud. I was asked to make a video about my all-star list of Experience Cloud sites that I'd recommend checking out for inspiration and showcasing. And one of the secrets about me is I don't look at just Experience Cloud for inspiration. I do look at a lot of different sites and I'll talk about that as we go. This is my portfolio, so I've tailored my website out of the things that I like and colors that make me feel good. I tend to do that because I think it shows a little bit of my personality. I will link this at the bottom of the video, but some of the things that I look for is I saw this site right here. It's called College Life Made Easy. What attracted me to the site in the first place was this favicon. It just had a little favicon that made it stand out, made it look different, but also that the name of the site was on here. This site has some things that I like. I like the way the grid system is, not necessarily for me, but for future use. I look at sites and the color schemes, and this particular one, I just really like the grid system and I like the way they did this. So I learned how to put a favicon on, which I have a video if you want to go watch it, and I know how to put the names of my pages as I move around at the top there. So you can see those changing and they are dynamic. And I didn't want home just to say home. I wanted to say what it is. That is one of the sites that I like. I will link all of these at the bottom. Another one I like is someone that I met via LinkedIn. His name is Eddie Chan. And what he's done that is unique is on his site, this is an LWR, that means Lightning Web Runtime Site. There are two kinds of Experience Cloud sites. There's Aura, which has pre-made components, very easy to use. That's what I use most of the time. Then there's the Lightning website, which gives you the ability to add a lot more customization. When I find an LWR site like Eddie's, I like to look around and see what they've been able to do that I cannot do in a regular site. One thing is I like the ability to see that they have accordions. This is not a regular component. And maybe this is just so I know the differences. Down the line, I want to do an LWR site. I'll go through Eddie's site and I watch things, and then I would email the person. Eddie, I contacted on LinkedIn, and his LinkedIn is down here if you'd like to contact him. And I said, how did you do this? How did you do that? Most people are pretty open about sharing that. One thing you do not need to know, and I do know how to code, but I choose to use the Aura site, is that the Lightning design system, the things that Eddie has going on his page, like the accordions, there is a design system that can help you if you are going to create your own Lightning web components to do this. If I go to accordion, I can go to here, and it will show me the code and what it looks like. It says, this is what it looks like. Here's the code. You'll get down to the code, and then you'll be able to, if you know how to code, it tells you how to make changes to it and such. But this is not a video about coding, but I do have to say I like to look at the LWR sites. I knew this was an LWR site because when I went to it, I knew that these components were not available. And I did verify with Eddie. I like to look around and see what the differences are. That is for future reference if I ever build one. Another one that I have found that I like is also somebody from LinkedIn, Erica, and I believe her LinkedIn is right down here, so please connect with her. What I like about Erica's site is the color scheme and how it's clean and it follows what I like. I look at other sites to see what I might like, not to copy, but maybe I like the way colors look together. She also has under portfolio resources a flow. And of course, most people can write flows, but I thought it was something unique the way she did it to put it on there for people to get resources. You can come over to her flow under portfolio, you pick the resources you want, and then it will show you what you can look at. And this was unique. I look for it as ideas that I might want to do in the future, where maybe I want a flow that does this. That's very unique. Whereas on my site, I have a tab called Build Your Brand, and I've just got them where people can click on them, and they're all on the page. They're not as organized as Erica's is. That is definitely what I liked about her site. I like to click around and see what they've got going on, and of course, if I have questions, I will ask them directly. But I am very fond of these colors. So in the future, if I'm working on a client or I create a new Experience Cloud site, I might say, well, I remember those colors and maybe I'm going to use them or some variation of them. Another one that I like to see, this is not an Experience Cloud site. This is Dana's. Now you can contact Dana. She does have her contact information on there to find her. This is using Carrd, C-A-R-R-D. It's also in the URL here if you're not sure. It helps you create websites, and I think it's nice to look at websites that are not created on Experience Cloud because sometimes they give me ideas of content or arrangements that I could do on Experience Cloud. What I liked about hers is if I click on this one in particular, the CRM Analytics, she's got the pictures and walkthroughs of what she did. She threw in a video and she puts her documented solutions, which I think is really neat. In the future, I would like to be able to put those things. When I saw this on Dana's site, that helped me and inspire me to, in some of my videos, I have right here, it is the custom CSS code linked where people can actually look at the document. It doesn't want to show it right now, but I can download it and it has the information in it. And I got that when I was looking at Dana's because she has completed documented solutions. There are different ways you can do an external link. Hers is to a Google Doc if I click it that she's given access to. You don't have to do it that way. You could do it the way I did it where it's inside of Salesforce and allows them to download it. However you want to do that. But that is what I got from Dana's. And then I just really liked looking around. Again, I like very clean, easy to see sites. If you go to her contact page, there's information. And right here, you're going to see her LinkedIn. So please connect with her. If you're using Google, which most people do, you're running into websites. When I see a website that something stands out to me, I like to remember, keep it for future reference. For instance, Target, I loved how they have the space on the sides. It's a very clean look. You can see that is definitely something I like. If you look at any of my pages, everything is centered in the middle. That is something that I didn't necessarily take from Target, but I'd seen it on a lot of sites that I wanted, but I'm using Target as an example. I also like how they have an image right up front, something to catch your attention. I also find things I don't like on websites. For instance, if I go to this Walmart website, it's okay to me when I first glance at it. I do like the images at the top. They don't have as much space around the sides, but that's just a preference. What I don't like is when I start going down, it gets longer and longer and longer. As a user, if I don't find this friendly, then I'm not going to ask other people to do it on my site. I keep my pages to a certain length and then I stop and then I'll either link out to another page. For instance, this is linking to a page right here on my site where there's content. I try to keep it minimized, but I'm a minimalist. I mean, this is the way my home is decorated. The other reason that I like to keep it a minimalistic look is for accessibility. I do have some videos on accessibility and what I look for and what I do with accessibility. When I'm talking about accessibility, that means allowing people of all abilities to look at it. A good example is if you have a site that is very, very busy and with lots of moving images, I would have to say Walmart is getting close to that. If these images were moving or jumping around, for instance, here one is, but if they were all moving at a rapid pace, that can trigger things like seizures and PTSD, and it makes it unfriendly to the eye, and I don't want to visit. So if there's something that I find unappealing, I don't want it on my website because maybe other people will as well. I'm going to link all those portfolios that I showcase in the bottom of this video, and you can connect with people then and leave me a comment on websites that you like and what you like about them. Now, there's certainly way more than I have shown you today. I look at 4 to 5 different portfolio sites a day because I run into them. Of course, you're always looking at websites, but then I try to find something that I like, and if it's appealing to me, I put it on my site. Certainly there are more than this, but this is kind of where I started and a few things that I like that I wanted to share.